Do you believe that the present Congress has abdicated its oversight responsibility? And how would you ensure that the co-equal branches of government fulfill their constitutional duties? And we'll stay down there with you, Aaron.
I think that we've all been watching a Congress that is, if you'll take the ship metaphor for a moment, rudderless. There's no leadership on the Republican side, and frankly, I don't think our leadership on the Democratic side is all that strong either. We keep pushing for things that I don't believe that really are what the country cares for. We care about partisan issues. We hear about identity politics. I think the Republican Party has lost contact with the average American. I think the Democratic Party has lost control of what to do with a checkbook. Those are fundamental, and that comes from leadership. I think that rudderless, spineless thing is all made more chaotic by a president who lives off of the chaos. We can't find a common storyline to say, Americans, we're going to go this direction. What can we get behind? Every week it's a different soundbite that gets us lost in, well, what do I care about now? The next dramatic event that media has decided to take under its wing? I think the people in Congress need to say, all right, we understand the national agenda. Education's important, healthcare is important, long-term pension issues are important, control of our budget's important. Those things, we have an opportunity this cycle to express through our votes that candidates who also believe in those things will come in, find new leadership within their party, and drive America towards a better place for tomorrow. Thank you.
I have no explanation for present Congress. I would just say that they are not working for us, they're not doing their jobs, and it's time to vote them out. People who aren't willing to do their jobs. I would also say that the issue is one of big money, and not just corporate PACs, not just corporations or PACs or lobbying money, even max donations from individual donors coming out of certain industries are something that we should be concerned about, because if you're spending your time on the phone begging for max donations from the richest people that you know, then you are not spending your time talking to the Americans who are struggling the most, and it suggests that you're probably a little out of touch.
Yes.
We need to remember that we have some likely Supreme Court nominations coming up. And we need to make sure that we control Congress when that happens. And not just the Democrats control Congress, but that the people, we the people, control Congress when that happens. And we need a representative body that looks a whole lot more like the body of people that it represents. Also, we need to get the big money out of politics. Lobbying, big money lobbying from any organization is generally something I'm going to be opposed to, because legislation should be able to stand on its own merits. And what we need is more responsive, more in touch representation in Congress to actually do their jobs.
First part of the question. Do you believe the present Congress has abdicated its oversight responsibility? Andy Harris, Devin Nunes, Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell. Do I need to say more? Absolutely they have. Absolutely they have. I've dedicated my life to fighting for the rule of law and to fighting for justice. That's what I will do for you in Congress. I am both an honest broker and a zealous advocate. As the county attorney for Talbot County, advising the council, 7 different councils, I dug and I dug and I dug and I did my homework, and I was a straight shooter. I told it like it was. And I defended the rule of law in our county, and I promoted respect for the rule of law in everything that we did. How would you ensure that the co-equal branches of government fulfill their constitutional duties? Number one, we have to defeat Andy Harris. And every one of the people at this table is head and shoulders above Andy Harris. And I will support whatever candidate comes out of this county. And finally, when the Democrats do take the House,
Yes.
Elijah Cummings becomes chair of the House Oversight Committee.
Yes.
He is your champion. He is our champion, and he will hold them accountable.
That's right.
And I hope to be there to help him.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think anyone in this seat immediately upon getting elected needs to understand that they're going to have to bring every ounce of energy and courage and rigorous oversight they can to things like the Department of Education, led by Secretary DeVos, and the EPA, led by Administrator Pruitt. Yes, Congress is supposed to be a co-equal branch of government, and I think the most solemn responsibility has to do with international affairs and military operations overseas. I'm a little biased. 4 combat deployments to Afghanistan. I spent a year as an intelligence officer near the demilitarized zone. We were the tripwire. Our life expectancy was about 14 minutes, excuse me. I have a master's in international affairs from Columbia, so I'm a little bit biased. But think about Congress and the last time you heard Congress and thought about an expertise and an interest in international affairs. It just hasn't been there. This job is federal office. It is the big leagues. You're going to spend the morning working on incredibly crucial and important healthcare bills that are going to have unbelievably important impacts at a place like Upper Chesapeake. And then you got to turn around in the afternoon and you got to have the interest and background and credibility and ability to create relationships on something like the North Korean nuclear crisis. You got to be able to do both, and you got to be able to have the interest and the background, the ability to create relationships in both arenas. So yes, Congress is a co-equal branch of government. What do? You find people with the backgrounds and interests and ability to create relationships in both those things. There's a reason this is federal office. It's the big leagues. And we have so many crises on the international stage right now. When my stump speech, I spent a lot of time in North Korea, and I hope we have a positive outcome, but I understand that this office, and if you care about our sons and daughters going to war in a place like North Korea, think about that as part of your vote. Thank you.